Hey, everybody, what's up? All right, we'll see you guys later.
Good show. Good show.
Oh no, we forgot to switch over. We just did the whole episode.
We just did the whole episode on the audio. You guys missed it all. Get
Just jokes.
shit on. Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
How we doing today, folks? How we doing?
Glad to be here.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, long day.
This is the last thing to do today.
This is the last thing to do today?
The last thing that I'm going to do today.
Yeah, I figured that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually what that means.
It's not the last thing I could do.
Well, sure.
There's lots to do.
There's always something you could do.
Yeah. It's the last thing I will be doing.
You could
Go
go on
watch
a
a
walk,
documentary.
watch a documentary.
Those are all things that I'm likely to do in the evening.
Yeah, you could have done all that stuff. You could.
Yeah, except it's 105 outside.
Yes, exactly.
It's hot.
Yeah. You're about to say it wasn't, but
It's
it is.
hot.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's not that bad, but it's
Come
fucking
on.
hot.
Shut up, dude. When your house feels cool, it's hot outside.
Yeah, my house does feel good. Doesn't feel
It feels
bad.
pretty good right
Doesn't
now.
It feels
feel
good,
bad.
yeah.
Doesn't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
It's
cold.
miserable outside.
Like, I was gonna say, is it like 80 in here?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's gotten to 80 yet inside the house.
My wife hadn't really gone outside today, but she was feeling the fall vibes. She was like, I'm so excited for August to be over because it's going to be the fall then. And she was like, I'm feeling very fall-y. And then she went outside. She was like, it doesn't feel like fall anymore.
It does not.
nope.
And
No.
on top of that, I mean, places are already selling like Halloween shit. So some places are already getting there, which
know.
is wild to me. I don't think that should happen.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed.
No, not at all. But whatever. Hey, not really my problem. It's I'm gonna complain about my weekend last weekend, about
All right.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Now I played 2 gigs on Saturday. Now, for those who don't know, I haven't had my car for over a month. I'm not gonna say the place, but I don't like you very much, people who have my car.
Disassembled on the ground.
God, it's truly a nightmare. I don't know what's going on. So I had a situation where I had 2 gigs in one night. I could blame many people for that situation, but instead I will just say it's on me, because it is on me ultimately to solve.
You said yes twice.
I said yes twice. I wish I would have known a set time earlier. Not the point. I had a gig at one place at 8 and another place at 9. How's that supposed to work? How am I supposed to do that one?
There was an episode of the Flintstones about that.
Was there?
Yeah, Fred wanted to be in 2 places at once.
Okay, how did he do it?
He didn't.
I thought you were gonna say this was like a crossover with the Jetsons or something.
No.
Or he's going to bring up SpongeBob again.
You never know. I am a wild card.
Nope.
Oh.
Is that it?
Adam is the wild card here.
Adam
Although
is
the
the wild card.
Flintstones reference really feels out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
but
That's
that
just
do-
because
that
I'm
does.
the
That does.
because
elder
you're
statesman.
old.
That was the
show.
only cartoon he had growing up.
Yeah, it was
all I got
on
in
the
Canada.
only channel on TV.
That was it.
CBC, Channel 3.
Yeah.
Just Flintstones.
Just Flintstones.
That's all.
And
they
the
could get
news.
the license for.
yeah.
And when the news came out, it was just like, there's a beaver in the dam. And then it was like, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. And then that was TV.
Wow, that's incredible. So, so I played at 8.
You've come so far.
You watch SpongeBob. now.
yeah.
So
2 shows.
So I played at 8 at one place, and then I played at 9 at the other. Now my car can fit 2 drum sets in it. I needed 2 drum sets, right? I needed to stage 1 at one location, and then go play the other one, tear down quickly, run to the next one, right? Now, keep in mind, these are 2 venues that are less than 5 minutes from each other. They're very, very close to one another. So it's 100% possible to get to the place. It's more about the gear that's the problem, right? So I was able to successfully set up the first one, sound check it. I was able to sound check the first one by 6 o'clock, and then I went to the second one, set up, and I go to the sound guy, and I look at his sheet, and he says that we're supposed to start at 7. And I'm like, well, it's 7 now. And he's like, well, that's not right. And I'm like, it's certainly not. We're starting at 8. And he's like, cool, starting at 8. I go start to set up, and he comes over, and he's like, cool, you guys starting at 9, right? And I was like, we just said 8. He said, we just said 9. I was like, no, we didn't.
No.
I was like, I got to play over here at 9. So I did not say 9. And he
Right.
was like, oh, okay, well then, yeah, we'll start you at 8. But the doors do open at 8. And I was like, then why did I get told that we start at 8? And why is the other stage also starting at 8? So we had to solve all of these problems like this.
Yeah. Because you're dealing with an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm playing at 8 or I'm going home. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, well, not going home, going to the other gig.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here. Luckily, it all got sorted so where I could play at 8. I was, they did backline that show too.
Good.
So I only had to unload cymbals and whatever. Got off the stage, was at the next venue parking by 8:40.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
Now, here's the kicker, and I hope so badly that the guitar player for that band is watching right now. When I got there, their shit wasn't on stage yet. And I was like, the fuck are you guys doing?
Just hanging out.
I'm already sound checked. So anyway, so I was able to get over there. But the car thing was that I had to use 2 cars. So
To make it happen.
yeah. So I had to use one car, park it, and leave it at one gig. I got picked up by my wife in another car with another drum set before I knew what the backline situation. So she drove me over to the next one, played, unloaded. She drove me over. It was going to drop me off, but there was a parking spot right in front of the venue, parked, good to go. We made it all work. It was truly like, it was an incredibly stressful, short
I was
period
going to
of
say
time,
that sounds very stressful.
but we played. It was crazy. But yeah, so here we are. After that was like I Sunday came around and I was like, no, nothing, nothing today. I sent Dave a video on Instagram of my living room of the chaos of 2 drum sets, 2 hardware cases, and it was nonsense.
So now that you told that story, that makes more sense because I was like, what gig did he bring all those drums with?
2 cars.
two hardware cases,
2 cars.
2 drum sets. The only thing I didn't have 2 of was a full set of cymbals, but I did have enough to set up cymbals for the staged kit, leave them there, and still set up the other one.
Right.
And then the only thing I didn't have 2 of was a bass pedal. That was the
Right.
only thing that had to go.
Wow.
It was crazy. Let's hear it for musician wives, everybody.
Heck yeah.
That's a big one. Come on. That's great. Excellent. Thanks, musician wives. Saving the day always.
Always.
It's amazing that some of these venues are in business. If they don't understand, like 8 and 9 are different times.
Well,
I know that this is something you guys run into all the time.
I will tell you that they understand that 1 and 2 are different times.
yeah. It was truly incredible that was a thing, and then that also we didn't get set times for this 12 band bill until Monday night. So Monday night going into Saturday.
The show was a surprise, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it
they
was-
hadn't been planning this for a while.
It was to give them all the credit. It was booked like 3 weeks ago, so it wasn't. It was
okay,
last minute ish for a show that size. But why it take you that fucking long to get all that together?
Yeah.
And then why is it still changing and I'm not hearing about it? Why do I
course.
have this and then I don't know that you guys are looking at a different piece of paper with time slots? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, all right. If it is that last minute, they should be updating all parties involved as soon as possible.
Or if it's like hey, doors are open at 8, so nobody should be playing at 8 then. Is that the rule? Like,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
should be really easy for them to remember. I would think.
Why am
but-
I getting a fucking link that says we play at 8? I don't get, like, what is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
So the sound guy was like, can you text me that? Because I'm going to use yours. I'm not going to use theirs. So we used that. It was
We
great.
also know, though, however, in the venue's defense, that if you have that many bands on a bill, there are bound to be people emailing and calling frantically going, well, I can't be there until this time, and I can't be there until this time. And
Sure.
And that's why I was like, it's on me. I tried to switch. I hit up somebody to switch. Like, I can't switch. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Right.
It's on me because I said yes to both, and I knew it would kind of end up this way, that this would be what would happen. So
Right.
now I will solve the problem, and I will make it work such that one kit's already ready, the other kit will be easy for me to tear down, and boom goes the dynamite. I can go to the next gig. So again, it's on me, and it was solved. But just like watching the, I will say, levels of incompetency is just like, what the fuck.
right. Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's the part that gets me is like, this is, for most people involved, your livelihood.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you care more about the time? Is like, at least to know, like, oh, doors are at 8, so nobody's starting at 8. Like, we know that. That's not a thing that I assume changes at the venue most
Right,
days.
right.
So,
You are expecting a lot from musicians
sure.
and artists
Sure.
that are hired at that venue.
I I mean, to be fair, it is a space where they do care about musicians.
Oh, 100%.
And they care about music.
Very
It's just,
supportive.
It's just that sometimes organization factors is really hard. I think incompetent is the wrong word. I apologize for that, but just organization of all of that is tough, especially when there's so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So many cooks in the cook.
In the kicking.
Yeah.
So that was a large chunk of my weekend. How was you guys' weekend?
I got one. I played an outdoor.
Adam, you got anything?
I was going to say
Adam,
mine was,
shut up.
mine was so uneventful compared to Hagen's. So
Yeah, we should have let him go
It was
last.
too tempting. I'm sorry.
Adam
Go
would have
ahead.
been like, I work a regular job and I had the weekend off.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I helped my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Non-musician
I
husband.
don't even need to be here, right?
Adam, go ahead.
I said I don't even need to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, we need you here.
No, this is like when I was gone. You guys just do the episode without me.
We just do impressions.
As far as I know, I usually get 5 to 10 minutes in the episode, and I go, all right, it worked.
I was saying I played an outdoor gig on Saturday, and it was just brutal because it was completely outside. The indoor part of the venue wasn't very indoorsy, like fully sealed, so it was still warm in there.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Was this,
and-
was this the one you learned a bunch of songs for? Or
Yes.
Was that, okay.
It was
yeah,
the Chris Stapleton
yeah.
Tribute Band
Yeah.
show. And the green room behind the stage, which is really a nice green room, the AC unit broke that day. So there was no AC anywhere to be found unless you wanted to sit in your car.
Did you sit in your car?
No. There was no
So
time.
that sounds
okay.
that sounds like he did. Yeah.
We had a newer like sound guy who wasn't super experienced with iPads and also doing a full show by himself.
I see.
Fine, whatever. Patience, whatever.
Yeah.
That wasn't the problem. We were outside from 5 p.m. to 12:30 that night, just outside the whole time.
Yeah.
And it didn't let up, really.
Jeez.
The show was from 9 to 11:30. Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
And we
Have some level
played
of professionalism
we
here.
played 27 Chris Stapleton songs. And in the middle of the set, the singer who is killing it sounds just like Chris Stapleton, singing his heart out. He goes, all right, guys, to the band. He said, I'm going to play an acoustic song. You guys take a break. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Then I'll come up and play an acoustic song, and then we'll finish the set. He was trying to be nice to us.
Okay. Okay. That's
Okay.
cool.
2
Yeah.
acoustic songs, a little break in the middle, just so he gets one. He finishes the acoustic song. We're off stage. As soon as he gets off the stairs of the stage, some lady who I still don't know who it was and was given zero explanation of who it was, walked up and went, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" to the singer. And he was like, "Well, I was just going to take a 5-minute break." And she's like, No breaks. Get back up on stage.
What the fuck?
And she looked at all of us and went, "God, come on, go. Get back up. Get back up on stage right now." And we were like, okay. And we just walked back up on stage, and he didn't take a single break
Jesus fucking Christ.
for
Wait,
2.5 hours.
And you don't know who this person was?
Still don't know who it
She
was.
never spoke to you outside of that?
Nope.
What the fuck? Did the singer know?
No. But I followed suit with the singer because as far as I was concerned, he's the band leader at that point. And
yeah.
so if he's going back up on stage and she's saying we all got to go, then I'm going too.
Jesus
It's just some
fucking
random
Christ.
lady.
It was I don't think she looked like she knew how to get backstage. And it wasn't like the easiest thing to get backstage at that venue.
What's interesting is that like we may have talked about this before, but I think that a lot of times people have an expectation that like we're all gonna be like your favorite arena rockers that play for like 3 hours plus straight with no break. But like, hey, you've paid a lot of money to see those guys, and they're getting paid a lot of money to do that, and we're not. That's not.
Yeah,
you.
right.
You didn't pay like $50 to $100 to see your favorite Chris Stapleton tribute band.
Exactly.
Well, maybe they
Well,
did.
hope-
I don't.
no.
I,
I mean,
I
hopefully-
assume not.
hopefully
$20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$20.
$20 was cover.
And
Maybe 25, but no less or
Yeah.
no more than 25.
and like these musicians are not getting paid at the caliber even close to
No.
what the arena rock musicians are getting paid.
Yeah, if somebody come up to me and was like, "Hey, I'll pay you $10,000, but you got to play for 3.5 hours straight in 100-degree weather," I'd be like, "I'll do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Easily.
you'll figure it out. Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Let's do it."
Easily. No issues. And really, like when you watch those shows, everybody gets a break. Like everybody,
Oh,
like
they're planned.
Yeah.
Because you kind of need one.
yeah, they're, like
It's exhausting.
There will be
Yeah.
band breaks where the front man can do whatever, and then there will be like breaks where the band can jam and the singer can fuck off for a while. Like they have those. I thought when you were talking about the break system, that's what you guys were gonna do. It was gonna be like he was gonna take a break, you guys were gonna go up
No.
and like jam. But that is nice.
No.
That, yeah.
In a 2.5 hour show, there would have been 15 minutes worth of break.
Yeah.
A 5-minute acoustic song, 15
Unacceptable.
minutes for the band,
Yeah.
5 minutes for the
him,
singer,
yeah.
who's arguably, maybe aside from the drummer, doing the most work.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, especially at that kind of gig, I
Yeah,
imagine.
Chris
Yeah.
Stapleton,
Yeah.
like, dude,
That's
he was
wild.
belting.
Dude, that's insane.
But we killed the show.
That's
the
awesome.
show was
Good.
packed too. It was really busy.
Good. That's
So,
really good.
whatever.
Well, hey, at least it worked out. Whoever that lady is, maybe choose a different way to talk to people. How about that?
Or if you've never done this before, play a 2.5 hour show outside.
Yeah, or like I mean, like I know how much you guys got paid for that
Yes.
based on what you told me.
Yes.
and pay your musicians more then.
Yeah,
That's that
because it was more than sufficient for payment.
yeah, but
Well,
But
the other part of it too is like for a show that long as an audience, you also might prefer there to be a break.
right,
If you're talking about like just a couple minutes for like you don't miss anything, then
Yeah.
especially if you're there because you're really into the artist, right? It's a cover show, so
yeah,
yeah, it's a really interesting thing. But whatever, it is what it is. I think that it is interesting. Like there have been places I can think of. We've mentioned the venue Jackson before. It's a closed venue in Dallas. I loved it. But we were playing there for 4 hours, and we would take breaks. People would go, "Oh, why are you taking a break?" And I'm like, "Tired. I'm sweating. It's 100 and whatever degrees outside. I'm taking a break. Like, sorry. Like, do you want to give me more money to not take a break? Is that
Yeah.
on you? No, it's not. I mean, this is how this is working. Then
yeah, exactly.
do you work for 4 hours straight? Probably not.
yeah, exactly. yeah. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know, but like,
It's possible they do, but
yeah.
like that's pushing the limit of like what like legally required breaks are even. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
One more piece to that story, just because it's weird and kind of funny. And so the end of the night, I think I get home at around 1:30 a.m. That week, I had learned all of the songs for that gig in my office / studio / whatever you want to call it, and I was sitting in the same chair every time learning those tunes, and I had been doing that most of the week unless I was teaching. When I got home from the gig, I showered, ate some food. It was probably 2:00 in the morning. Sat down and started relaxing for a little bit because I was like, I need to unwind before going to bed.
Yeah.
My wife fell asleep on my lap. She was laying on the couch. We were watching stuff. And next thing I know, I'm sitting in my computer chair with my arms crossed, passed out asleep. My dog is kicking me. And my wife is there like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I got here. And she goes, I woke up and you weren't there. So I assumed you were in the bathroom. I heard snoring down the hallway. She went down the hallway and thought maybe he went and slept in the guest room because he was tired. He didn't want to snore. So she checked the guest room. I wasn't there. Checked the bathroom. I wasn't there. And was like, open up the studio door. The lights were off. There was no lights on. My computer wasn't on. Nothing was on.
Oh my god.
I didn't even have my phone
Bro, fucking
or
sleepwalked.
anything.
That's
I think I
crazy.
sleptwalked for the first time.
Dude, that's wild. That's insane.
Passed out in my computer chair.
Probably not the most comfortable place to be passed
Well,
out.
hey, I mean,
Whatever. It happens.
hard worker, right?
Yeah.
Hard worker.
It's because you didn't get that break.
There you go.
Yeah,
If I had that
exactly,
15-minute break.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Ian in the chat said, one of my bands played a Battle of the Bands 3 hours away, supposed to be 5 bands with a $1,000 first prize. It's the middle of January. The show is in the gym of a school. They neglected to tell us the school was abandoned and had zero heat other than the generator for power. And there were actually 14 bands with a $200 prize for first.
Wow.
Hey.
3 hours away.
3 hours away. I don't know. Fucking bleed for your crafts. I don't know.
Get back on stage.
Okay, so I do have some light news if you want. If you guys want to jump in,
let's do it.
Or we can just okay,
Light
great.
news like it's happy news or just short?
Interesting.
Because I saw there was
news.
some bad news.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Potential
what,
bad news.
I don't know what you're referring to. What are you referring to?
The Taylor Swift canceled upcoming tour dates because of a terrorist threat
Didn't
over
see
in Europe.
that.
Like a couple hours ago.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
nope, missed that.
Yeah.
Missed that
So-
entirely. Well,
I mean, the album wasn't that bad.
Where's the thing? So no, not that. So I'll talk about this, and then I got to pull up a YouTube video, and I'll get it ready. So just like bear with me for 2 seconds, everyone in the video. But did you guys see Kesha at Lollapalooza?
No.
Okay. She has a song called Backstabber, I think is the song. The song, okay. They lost the prop knife, and they replaced it with a knife from the kitchen.
From catering.
Okay.
So she, in the choreography, is like fake stabbing at her dancers with a real fucking knife.
Pretty sure that's an OSHA violation.
So she tweeted about it later, and she says,
Oh my God.
hold on, let me find the tweet, and then I'll pull up the
Did
video.
nobody tell her?
No one told her. She didn't know.
Fuck.
So she tweets about it later. So apparently the prop knife went missing, and they replaced it with a real butcher knife stolen from the kitchen. And I didn't know till now. So watch that again. So we're gonna watch a little snippet of
my
this.
God.
So sorry for the audio listeners. That means you just come on over here to the video. And for everyone who's watching live right now, remember to like the stream. Thanks everybody. I give me 2 seconds to pull this up. So yeah, I've totally meant to do that already.
That is so scary.
isn't
I mean, this could have been.
Whose fucking decision was that? Like,
Who knows? But this could very easily have been a different story.
Yeah. And when you watch it, it's like kind of like it's interesting. Oops, sorry.
Picture this. You're
No, stop. God, I turned it down. Okay. So it's interesting because when you watch it, it's like the choreography clearly had like a thing. Like it was like it looks fun. But
Imagine if it was one of those knives that you have as a kid where you poke it into somebody and the blade retracts because it's like
I
a
assume
spring.
that's what the prop knife might have been.
Oh man.
yeah. So let's see. That probably well. So she doesn't actually stab anybody.
Sure.
No, but
She'll-
she in like broad daylight could have just stabbed one of her dancers.
Yeah, imagine. God.
Okay.
Like
so,
and because the choreography would have been that she
Right.
was really trying to do it.
If the
gonna-
choreography had that, yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn the volume up just a little bit so we can hear much, but I don't want them to take us down for watching Lollapalooza.
That's
but,
fine.
Just a little bit. So here's
Oh
this is in the middle of
my-
the set.
Look at her
She
swinging
has-
it around.
She's swinging this knife around, right? This is what she's been doing the whole song. As a real fucking butcher
Good
knife.
thing that doesn't get like thrown into the audience at some point as a
Okay, ready for
choreographed
this?
move.
She's just stabbing at them.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude.
She's just fucking running around, and it keeps going. It's part of the choreography is having this fucking knife in her
Yeah,
hand.
that's what I mean. Like, imagine if part of that was like throw it in the audience, like or
Yeah.
stab a dancer.
Fuck,
But
Dude.
I guess in hindsight, good job on the choreographer not letting
Not
letting
yeah,
that go in there.
exactly.
But
Just whoever's fucking call this was should be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
transfer this. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. That's
Well, I mean, we're watching it.
yeah. I'll put it back so we can do that again.
It's almost like almost comical because she's only stabbing backwards
Yeah,
as they're
right.
walking away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier in the clip. We don't have to go back. But anyway,
Yeah.
like this is oh my god. This is so wild.
Isn't that crazy?
I want to know what the staff in the kitchen thought when they came in there. They're like, we need a knife to replace the prop knife, and they're just probably like, no, probably don't do that. Like,
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
I also
And,
like that she only has a drummer and a bass player on stage too.
Yeah. I think the part that gets me outside of like the whole walking part is that she does like stab at these people next to her at some point, like that kind of shit right there where she's like aiming at this like it's like it's that's
Oh,
yeah.
not
Was he
far.
performing imaginary fellatio?
Yeah, it's not far from their heads. That's crazy.
That is quite the dance.
That is insane.
yeah.
So,
All of a
yeah.
sudden I'm distracted.
Sorry about that. I tried to set it up the right way. Yeah, isn't that fucking wild?
That is wild.
Yeah.
It's so
yeah,
dangerous.
Whose fucking job was it to think that was okay? Like,
Yeah. It's it's
it has to be somebody who like knew the choreography too, right? It's not like somebody who's just like, she needs a knife, like go find one.
yeah.
yeah.
like-
it doesn't it makes no sense to me, but that's what happened. So that's some interesting piece of news. If you guys have time, watch that full performance of that song. It's like it's called Backstabber or something. It's like third. You can just go watch her full set, and it's time.
I'm sure it's a killing set.
Yeah, and it's time.
That wasn't meant to be a pun. But I will take it. I didn't mean that pun.
So then we have the Aerosmith news,
Yeah.
which
Steven Tyler's gay.
I was gonna click a
I'll
button.
take the-
that one.
I'll take the-
Yeah, you can take the cancel bug. That's great. So
Good for no. Jeez.
well, okay. So so Aerosmith is indeed they are retiring from touring, and they have canceled all their farewell dates. Did you guys see the reason why? Because of his voice, his
Yeah.
vocal injuries.
That makes sense though.
So yeah, so the interesting thing about this I didn't know about was that Aerosmith began this farewell tour after it was I guess with issues because it was after a woman sued Steven Tyler for alleged sexual assault and sexual battery when she was a minor, and then he got sued again for the same thing in from a case from 1975, and the judge dismissed it because it had been too long. So I don't think that necessarily had anything to do with it, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll see you. We'll see you later, man. You don't got to do this anymore then.
Sorry, I might have the timelines confused.
So one of the assaults happened in 1975, and then when the case came to them recently, the judge dismissed it because it had been too long. The other case I don't know, but the details on. But that one was
We're not surprised by that though, right?
Sure, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess for Aerosmith fans, I'm sorry, but I'm not too.
I mean, they've probably been on a farewell tour for 7-8 years.
Yeah,
right?
but
So,
but the official reason they gave was because of his vocal injuries and
Yeah.
because he couldn't do the singing anymore.
Yeah. So they're not going to be touring, but
Sure, I guess they could do more.
they in the statement they said they're stepping off the stage.
Yeah.
So they might release
retire from
records or-
touring, cancel farewell tour. Yeah. So whatever. That's that. We'll be seeing you. This is a interesting piece of news. We all, we hate Morgan Wallen here. Morgan Wallen is suddenly everyone loves the guy. Don't get it. But so I don't know if you guys saw this. When he played in Kansas City last weekend, he walked out with Travis Kelce and some other players from the
Chiefs.
From the Chiefs.
Who we don't know.
One of them I know. I can't remember the name, but I know who it is. The part that is interesting about this is that he's wearing the jersey. His jersey number is number 7, which is Harrison Butker's jersey number. Which, if you guys don't remember who that guy is, he was the guy who, whatever Christian college that was, he gave a commencement speech that was atrocious, and it was basically like women should be in the kitchen and make babies.
Yeah.
That. So he was wearing.
Wasn't
Travis
it a-
Kelce was?
No.
Oh,
Morgan
Morgan
Wallen
Wallen
was.
was.
Wasn't this a commencement speech like at a women's college, if I remember
No,
right?
it was a Christian college.
Okay.
But there were a lot of women who were
right.
Patrick Mahomes. Thank you, Ian.
Ian with the football reference.
So this was like a bit of a clickbaity like situation. Morgan Wallen's, I'm saying a bit of because I do think that he knew what he was doing. Morgan Wallen's number in high school when he played was number 7, so he was wearing, and apparently it said Wallen on the back.
He
But
knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. There's no fucking way that guy did not know what
Yeah,
he was doing.
he
with
was
that.
setting up the like us.
Well, and he was setting up my favorite Fox News headline about this, which is Morgan Wallen irks Taylor Swift fans as he wears Harrison Butker's number, walks with Travis Kelce at show. I love it so much. So he knew what he was doing, though, 110%. My last 2 small pieces of news are Jack Black update. He basically said, we'll be back. When he was doing a press interview for the movie Borderlands. Hey, for anyone who's thinking about seeing Borderlands,
what?
don't fucking see that movie. They shouldn't have made that up. They shouldn't have done this. Anyway, it's a video game. They shouldn't have done this.
I didn't know he was in that movie.
He's the robot.
That makes sense. Voiceover job. Okay.
He said, I love Tenacious D. We had to take a break, but I love the D. Everybody takes a break sometimes. We'll be back.
Hold on. That's a different story.
That's very very different from saying I overreacted.
Yeah, exactly. We covered this in depth last week.
Hey, that's what he said a couple days ago. I don't know. And then
He was just waiting on the paycheck to clear.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
This is for Minecraft.
No, for this new
Yeah,
one,
for Borderlands. Yeah. Well, Borderlands is
because it's probably going to bomb, right?
110%. It's
So-
in the previews, people were like, "This is a bad movie. Fix it." And then
Yeah.
they were like, "Nah, we'll release it." Yeah, as like a massive video game person, I'm super. I hate that they made that movie. So then this is incredibly small but very interesting. So this is kind of a spoiler for Deadpool, but not really because it happens in the first.
Oh, I've seen it now. We're good.
Oh, okay,
I haven't seen it.
It happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
You're not gonna see it.
I'm gonna see it.
Are you?
Yes.
I thought you didn't like the comic book movies.
I don't.
Okay.
I like the good ones.
Well, this isn't one
Like
of them.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay, anyway.
Touche.
Hey Ian, if that's the only video game you ever started for like done from start to finish, don't go watch that movie. You're gonna be wildly offended by it.
Yeah, wait for the Amazon series.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Fallout.
Yeah. So this is within the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's barely a spoiler. He does a whole dance sequence to Bye 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 in the movie. So NSYNC changed the official YouTube video for Bye 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 to say from Bye 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 parentheses
Deadpool.
from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
God.
fucking hilarious?
Good for them.
Yeah, yeah. I think you could have obviously like a cynical perspective and be like, well, like what, like that's crazy. He's doing that for like Disney or whatever. Like NSYNC's doing that for Disney. I'm like, I think it's just funny. I think that's just great.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, Justin Timberlake was a Disney kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Not that
Also,
big of a
that's
stretch.
got to be a marketing thing on the Deadpool side.
Sure.
That's very
Yeah.
in line of how they've been doing marketing
The
stuff.
marketing has been wild.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like,
yeah.
if
Ryan
they come to
Reynolds-
you and they say, "Hey, we're going to give you a couple $1 million for you to go change that on YouTube," and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's cool. That's fun."
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's all I have for news. Most of that being kind of just quick and fun or
That's great.
or ridiculous. But I now would like to dive into our mid-year update, time to discuss a couple things as far as this goes. I would like for us to kind of go around and discuss how we feel music releases have been for the year so far. I'd like for us to discuss our favorite albums of the year so far, or singles, or whatever's coming to your mind. But before we do that, I would like to tell a tale of this morning. I went on a mini deep dive this morning. And by mini deep dive, I mean I went on a bunch of lists. I have those lists pulled up. We can dive into whatever. And I listened to not full albums, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 3 to 4 songs off of each album that are on a lot of these lists to kind of do a short little catch up on some things that I have not given enough listen to or never heard of, or things that are showing up on a lot of lists. So I have some more things to add into the list, a different perspective also of where at least what I've heard musically. But we will dive into that perhaps later. Adam, tell us about you, how you're feeling about music so far in 2024.
So a couple of weeks ago, actually, I started putting together my list of albums of the year potential. Trying to stay on top of that. It's a short list, actually. I'm surprised.
Okay.
I don't feel like there's a lot that has stuck with me this year.
Okay. Okay. Now, this is a question that I was going to say for Dave, but we can just ask it now. Is 2024 the year of growers?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's true, yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think
Because there are some albums that I listened to, like the Idols album, for example. I liked it right away, but I like it more now as well.
explain what you just said again? You liked it right away, but you liked it
I liked
more.
it. I liked it when I
okay.
first heard it, but the more I've listened to it, the more I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, this is like higher up on my list.
I heard you say I liked it when I heard it, and I like it now, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the word more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, so that album grew on you more to like
Right.
it. But like, are there other albums that potentially you feel like you are missing out on because they need more time to grow? You're just not gonna, because who has the time to let every album grow, right?
I listened to the Charlie XCX album and think that one might grow on me, but maybe I just am missing something for me.
Adam's just not girly pop.
I guess not. Yeah,
Adam is not Brett.
yeah. Turns out.
Okay. Do you want to tell us? We can go around. You want to tell us one album that's on your like best of right now list?
I would have to say Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okay. Cool. I think that's a crazy pick.
That was an immediate. This album's great for me.
Yeah. Do you feel like that album is? I think we might have said this last week, but do you feel like it's more produced than the last album?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that maybe is a bit of. It's not a problem for me. It's a good thing for them.
I think it fits their sound.
Yeah, I think I think one of the complaints I hear a lot from like people who listen to Lawrence is like, yeah, but a real band's not going to do this. And I'm like, okay, but they do.
But they do that, right? So,
yeah, but then listening to this, I was like, well, now it definitely feels like for people,
Yeah.
they could be like, well, a real band's not going to do this, you know? But I do think it is a really good album. What's like, are there like standouts on the album for you, or is there like a reason why? Or is it just like, it's just a
I think
hit?
the whole thing as a whole.
Okay.
I do have some like issue with like some of the track like order.
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
off. Like I think I mentioned last week, but
100%.
just overall it works.
Okay. Dave, what you got?
Is it the year of growers?
Yeah.
I think it is the year of growers because I'm not giving up on albums as quickly as I might have historically.
Okay.
But the only albums that have grown on me that I didn't really like at the start are artists that I already trust.
Gotcha. Okay. I see.
So I'm finding that new to me artists, I'm having a really hard time just letting stuff open up to me.
Okay. Yeah. Do you find that? And I think that everyone's been through this like kind of stretch, I imagine, as music listeners, but I also feel like musicians go through this a whole lot. Do you find that like when you listen to music, you just want to be comforted and you don't want to, like it's not that you don't want to explore, but it certainly feels better to like to just sit back and go like, I trust what's been giving to me, you know?
Oh, 100%. I can also confidently say that in these first 6 months of the year, I think a majority of the music I listened to was because I was learning it.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it was learning it for a gig or learning it for teaching.
Right.
A majority of the music I've listened to has been because of that.
Gotcha.
And so it's not necessarily new stuff, or it doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, listening. So then when I do listen for pleasure, it's hard for me to be like, a new thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's like what most people, including myself, do with like TV. Like,
Yes.
like a lot of times, I there's so many TV shows I know I should watch, but I'm probably not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna like
Comfort show.
Yeah. I literally just want to put something on that is just gonna be there. I don't have to like, you know, feel bad if I missed something, you know. Well, with all that being said, can you give us an album that like has been high up on your 2024 list?
An album that's been high up, that will be high up, and wasn't when I first listened to it. So a great example of a grower was Norah Jones's album, the newest album, Visions.
Okay.
At first I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, it's a great Norah Jones record, like for her sound. But then the more I listened to it and got deeper into it, I was like, oh, this is actually like a cool step forward for her.
Okay.
And way deeper than I thought.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Same,
nice.
very reminiscent for me as the Feist record last year. That was my favorite album.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if it's necessarily gearing up for this to be number one, but it'll be on the list.
I like that. I don't know if this is the year of growers for me. I get the perspective. I think that like my takeaway so far for this year has just been like, it's the same as every year in the fact there's so much music. But what I'm finding is that it is getting really difficult to find these artists that people love. Like you literally have to be following these people that are in these like publications and whatever that are posting stuff. There's some artists that like I come across through social media. There's some that I love that are releasing things that are also great. But like there's some artists I heard today that I was like, I would have never heard this artist. But a great example of that from the beginning of the year for me was that artist, that guy Jimmy Montague. Remember that like super like happy key, like piano playing stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Like singer-songwritery.
Yeah, we listened to it on, and if we want to listen to anything too, I have Spotify pulled up. So if we want to listen to anything,
Actually,
we can.
we pull that up?
Yeah,
Was
100%.
that album cover with like a garage door on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I do.
Yeah,
remember
we can, and if you guys want to show like pull up anything from what you mentioned as well, we can do that. But like for me, this was an album that it really surprised me. This guy only 1,500 monthly listeners.
I was actually going to text you about this guy a little while ago and be like, "Hey, what was that?"
He is so.
I don't know where I found this, but I found this album somewhere last week.
It's
I haven't
great.
listened to it yet. I added it to my library to listen
wow.
to it.
And but this was a guy that I would never like. I mean, he does have a small amount of listeners, but he also is like I think he's friends with a lot of people who have done. I think he also comes from a band that's well known. I can't remember all of his details, but like it's really nice stuff. This isn't even the song I was thinking of, but this is a great one.
I gotta go. I've overstayed my welcome.
I love this. So someone like this
that's great.
is someone that's this album to me was never a grower. I put on the first song. I think we listened to the first song on Fun Fridays, and I was like, this is fucking great. And the rest of the album's that way. But again, it's really hard to find that stuff.
Well, and you also had that with that. Oh God, what's the name of that metal band that?
What, Knocked Loose?
Yeah.
Well, Knocked Loose, we'll get into that one.
Okay.
But I think that there are plenty of albums that are going to end up being growers, and I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit. But for me, this one's a really big, like, it was a big theme for me of all this, of like, it's so hard. It's not so hard to find good music. I really hate when people say it's so hard to find good music, because it's
No,
They're
it's
like,
not.
There's no good music anymore.
yeah, there's plenty of places to find good music, but like when we look when there's so many places to look, you really have to kind of like spend the time to narrow down what you really want to listen to.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
is probably the harder part, because there's probably some stuff. At least I'm gonna speak for you here, Dave. There's
Go for
probably
it.
some stuff
I'm
that you
pretty
listen-
predictable.
There's probably some stuff you listened to that ended up being like, that was like, this is a grower, and you probably thought to yourself, this is good, I don't like it. Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a pretty common thing here. But moving on, Adam, you got another album for us that's a topper.
Oh, sorry. While you're thinking of that, oh my God.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. The Idols record. Jeez,
Yeah.
that was a grower for me.
Okay.
'Cause
I mean, I can see that.
At
Yeah.
first, I was like, well, I'm used to Crawler. I think that was the name of the last record,
Yeah.
right? I was like, this is a much different energy, but again, it's a band I trust. But that album is going to be probably on the top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album is up there for me, but I won't use that as my example. I would say Challengers, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
Just like a total return to form for them, but also still like very different.
Did you watch the movie?
I have not seen the movie.
Still, wow. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it either. But like,
Alamo closed, so I can't go see movies.
It's going to
Fair,
open
fair.
again soon.
No, I know.
okay, interesting. Yeah. But that one wasn't a grow. You
No,
just
that was
jumped
an
in, you're
immediate.
like,
That immediate played it, and then immediate was like, I need to listen to this again. Like that was great.
love it.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. That
And it's a
that's
short album too. It's 35 minutes or something.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's a good length.
Well, for
Yeah.
like a
For
score,
an-
that's
For
Yeah.
the
short.
score, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Before you go again, Dave, Ian said Smashing Pumpkins' new album is pretty fucking great. They're a band I haven't trusted in a long time, but it's a great album. They announced it 2 weeks ago before it came out and didn't release a single. I heard the opposite. I'm not a Smashing Pumpkins fan though, so I can't really speak to it. But I do think that it is interesting to the perspective of a band I didn't trust. Listened to it and it was good. Like that's a great perspective to have.
Yeah.
You know, if it's an artist that like you did trust, now don't, now try again. That's a good one.
course.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Those reviews are all over the place.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars.
I heard from someone today that it's pretty fucking awful. I think those were the exact words. If they're in chat, they can correct me.
Ian, also Ian in the chat is the new guitar player on this record.
Oh,
I'm
that's a good
curious
one.
about that.
Yeah, Dave, you got another album for us?
That will likely end up on the list.
Just any album that stuck out with you this year that's like that you're super into.
Nathaniel Rateliff.
But that one, I feel like you just jumped in and you're like, this is great.
Yes, but it didn't grow on me right away.
Okay.
Probably the third listen, I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
First listen, I was like, it's kind of boring,
Yeah.
but it's not, and I was just having a fast-paced, busy existence with music.
Could you give us a song on that album? I think that would. I think everyone should listen to Nathaniel Rateliff. But
Yes.
I think that I think having like a nice jumping point off of an album like this, because as I mentioned last week, being in Dave's car a bunch, I heard this album.
You know, I haven't listened to it since then.
But I don't know any of the names of the songs. I just sat in your back seat listening to it and singing along.
Let's listen to. Scroll down a little bit. Call me whenever you like.
Oh yeah, great one.
Well, they told me that you ain't got friends. And I'm staring around the room and I'm the only one that's
Where would you
left.
put them stylistically, genre-wise?
Oh, I don't know, because they do a lot of different things. I would say Americana.
Yeah.
Rock Americana.
To me, this just feels like straight like it feels like it rocks, but but it's not like a rock song.
Yeah, but then there's soul,
Yeah, exactly.
Americana soul.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it has more soul than like country America.
Exactly. Yeah. But then put on David and Goliath just for a second.
Okay. That's
This
the
could-
first song on the album.
Yeah, and this is total like Beatles.
get
Maybe
out of
less
my head?
Beatles
I don't know.
and more Harry Nilsson, but in that same
Somebody
vein.
let me go.
Check out the drums.
If
Kind
I'm falling now.
His voice sounds crazy like that.
Oh, I know.
That's wild.
Every time I knew I ran,
Songs about anxiety.
set me on my feet. There's someone else.
And then when they break in to the chorus part, he's like basically screaming.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Perfect
Why should
tempo.
I even
Yeah.
care?
That's great.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different things on this. I think he released a solo record, and I forget if it was late 2020 or early 2021, and it changed I think it gave the Night Sweats more permission to do softer things. Historically, I think they've been trying to pump up the party and kick out the jams.
Yeah.
But then when he did that solo record, it was very somber and sad, but still very textural.
Gotcha.
So the last 2 records they did as a band, maybe even 3, but I think it's 2. There's been a lot of different variety on the albums, and
That's
it's
cool.
really nice.
Yeah, I mean this. It's very interesting to listen to music like that and just be like, wow, this this could take me to so many different like generations, right?
Exactly.
You feel like you're kind of generation skipping around. So
That's cool.
An album that I didn't have to worry about at all, and you already mentioned it.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
No, that's perfect. Is Knocked Loose. It is. I think the album's called "You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to." It is like, it's just like one of the best metal albums I've ever heard. Like it has to go high up on my list for life. It's just so good. It's so fucking raw. Like the lyrical content is incredible. The riffs are crazy. There's so much shung 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 sound.
Can I tell you something?
huh.
I tried to put it on once, driving to a gig recently.
yeah.
The Chris Stapleton gig. I tried
yeah.
to put it on because I was like, I need to get pumped up. I think I got half of the song in,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't do this.
I get it. I think it's interesting.
It's too much.
they get kind of put like I was looking at a lot of lists this morning for like the album of the year stuff or so far, right? And they get put in like a metalcore category a lot. And I'm like, this is pretty hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
actually, it's pretty hardcore kind of stuff. All right. So for me, that album, I didn't have to like even think. The singles were great, and then I put the album on from front to back, and it is a heavy metal journey. I love that fucking thing. So and it is on so many people's like favorite album of the year. It is made so many like so far lists. Knocked Loose on the aggregate websites, Knocked Loose is super high.
Damn.
On Pitchfork, it's super high. Like all the metal places, they love it, which a lot of times if like Pitchfork loves a metal record, metal musicians don't, or metal listeners
probably
don't
don't.
like it.
Yeah, but the whole
exactly,
community seems to really
Everyone's
love
like,
it.
this is fucking it.
Yeah.
Like there are kind of 4 albums that I saw a lot on the lists. Brat,
Yeah, Charlie XCX.
Cowboy Carter,
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, and
Knocked Loose.
Knocked Loose. Isn't that
The Family Values Tour 2025.
it's great. I love it. Let's fucking
Let's get a Knocked Loose Beyonce collab.
Say notably absent from that top list also.
what?
Taylor
album
Swift.
that we listened to.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I would Jesus. My wife
Pepper.
just screamed. No, that
Oh.
was Kara. She's playing a video game.
I thought that was your dog
No.
yelping.
Interestingly, nope. Oh yeah. So Billie Eilish is actually a Knocked Loose fan. Like
Oh yeah, there was that footage of her at side stage at
one of those. I think it was Lollapalooza last year.
last year, yeah.
Yeah. So that collab could happen. And Billie Eilish
just
did the
collabed.
Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
So hey, let's get them all in there.
All the top 4, yeah.
Yeah. If Spirit Box can do a collab with Megan Thee Stallion, then I think anything's possible. Okay, Adam, you got another album for us?
Yeah, Lake Street Dives album that came out last month.
Man,
I keep meaning to
in
listen to
June.
that. I keep meaning
keep
to
seeing
listen.
clips.
I keep meaning
Your
to-
turn.
So you guys haven't listened to it?
No.
Neither of you.
I keep meaning to listen to it because I keep seeing clips.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to listen to it, but I keep forgetting they released music.
Yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't show up on my because I've listened to them for years,
yeah.
but it doesn't show up on any of my Discover stuff.
It showed up 2 weeks late for me. I don't know why.
Weird.
On Tidal. So
Interesting.
Is it? I haven't really listened to much from it, but does it just feel like Lake Street Dive again?
yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, it feels like a return to what the path they were on before.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Which I didn't mind where they have deviated before. I still liked it. but-
Yeah, I mean, when they've deviated in the past, it has never felt like they've deviated too far.
Yeah.
If anything, the deviation would be like go a tiny bit more poppy in some of the writing.
That's fine.
but they still hold what they've done, what they do the whole time. Like that,
Yeah.
that doesn't
Yeah.
change.
We're
So,
referencing their initial upcoming fame was when they were like acoustic, really funky kind of covery.
yeah, they
act.
they got really big off of doing
Want You
covers.
Back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Was
Yeah,
one of the
the
big ones.
Thumb Machine album is all
Yeah.
like almost all covers.
It's all
Yeah.
covers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all covers. Yeah. So they, I mean, as they got bigger, they definitely added more of like a little bit of like pop elements.
Yeah.
But then they've also not. It's I
No,
don't know.
it's closer to like Side Pony from like 10 years ago.
That's great. That's
So-
great. Well, now I got to add it to my fucking list. I just totally.
And it's I mean, it's an album that like kind of came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know they had a new album coming out, I think, until you mentioned it. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Guess I'll hear that when that comes out. And then just kind of, again, showed up and new releases a couple weeks late for some reason. And
Yeah.
listened to it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I think I like this. So
Dawes recently played a show with them, and that was
seems
cool
like a good fit.
because they got the two of the members of Dawes got up on stage and sang with Lake Street Dive. And I
Side-
was like, I need to listen to Lake Street Dive more.
Side note: did you see was it Colbert or Conan that performed with like a bunch of
Conan,
Yeah, and did you
Newport Folk Fest.
Okay, and all the headlines were like Conan performs with these musicians on stage and like calls out everybody, and in the pictures is Dawes.
Dawes was his backing
And I
band for
was
the
like,
entire show.
Who not going to mention that?
I know.
He's there, like literally, like is it Taylor? Taylor's the main guy.
Yeah.
Or Taylor's literally right, but like as close as we are to Conan, and they're like, here's all the list of musicians. Don't just put Dawes at the bottom at least, man. Like that's crazy. Like they're right there.
Well, they were in the headlining, like the bill was Conan O'Brien and like Real Musicians or something like that was the name of the band.
Oh, okay.
And so they were his band,
Bro, just say it's Dawes.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
insane. Like
featuring Dawes.
that would be a great thing for Dawes.
Yeah, special guests
Jesus
Jack White,
Christ.
Nathaniel Rateliff. Was it Mavis Staples?
Yeah, it was so many names.
So many names.
says a lot that all these musicians like Conan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's very true.
everybody likes
They're
it.
not starting a band with Jimmy Fallon.
Or Jay Leno.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you got another album that you liked this year?
I have albums that I'm looking forward to, if I can say that.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm looking forward to the new Dawes record. Speaking of that, they've released one single from it so far called House Parties.
Okay.
And today they released an alternate version of it with Brad Paisley
Okay.
doing a verse and a guitar solo.
And how is it?
It's incredible.
Okay, great.
Brad Paisley,
Yeah,
if
he's
you
great,
don't
yeah.
know, is a motherfucker of a guitar player. Like top-notch guitar player and a great songwriter. So, yeah, it's really good. And Mike Viola is going to come out with a new record.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah.
I'm excited for that too. I think it's called The Rock of Boston. But
Cool.
I'm not sure.
That's very nice. There's it's hard for me to decide where I want to go to next here. I'll mention the Lizzie McAlpine record. That one was huge for me, and it's still
We can't listen to it on the
we
show.
cannot listen to it on the show. The album's called Older. Sorry. Wow, do I love that album so much? And I was shocked to just see it not on any list. It blew me. I thought it was so fucking like stuff like that makes me be like, man, what am I? How out of touch am I with this shit? Like I think it's an incredible album. Her voice is amazing. The songwriting is amazing. The players are so good. That album for me blew me away, and I haven't listened to it for like a couple months, and I'm sure if I put it on, it will continue to blow me away. Like
Yeah.
it's beautiful, absolute beautiful songwriting. Every facet of it.
The song Drunk Running came on just on shuffle on Apple Music for me the other day. And I got halfway through it and I was like, oh, it's too heavy. And like everything you love listening to, I'm like, I can't do this, man. We don't all go to therapy, okay?
Hey, then you can listen to more music, I guess, right? Adam, do you have any other albums you want to mention that you've been really into?
I know it's not an Anderson .Paak album, but No Worries.
Yeah.
Why, Lord? Isn't
Yeah.
It's really good, and I wasn't expecting it to be as I don't know, like personal of an album for him.
Sure. Yeah.
It feels more like a solo album than it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that album's good. I don't know where that'll be on my list, but
I
Gotcha.
haven't heard that either.
we've had a lack of any new Anderson .Paak for a while, so
He's releasing something, I think, soon, but I didn't
Yeah.
read. I didn't read much about it.
I think
but-
it's supposed to be a new Free Nationals record too.
okay. Cool.
yeah,
Like-
Anderson .Paak
and
Free
Free
Nationals.
Nationals.
he's gone back to people he kind of stopped working with
yeah.
when
Yeah.
he got
Bruno
super
Mars.
famous.
Yeah. We got Bruno Mars.
Right. Who's busy gambling away all
Exactly,
his
yeah.
money.
Well, there's plenty of records I could mention that I well, not plenty, but there's a few more I could mention that I think are like really really big ones for the year for me so far, and there's some that I'm really looking forward to. But instead, what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of dive. I'd like to take a step back into my mini deep dive from this morning, and if you'll so indulge me, I would like to give you guys some recommendations based on what I listened to.
Please.
From what I listened to, there's some stuff that, and you guys obviously could listen to each other's recommendations, but there's some stuff that's like, I thought you like Dave, you have to listen to this. Adam, you have to listen to this. And I have a surprise recommendation for chat as well, assuming we haven't left yet. So for both of you, let's just start here. You guys both already listened to Brat, right? Have you tried it? Listen to Brat, but do it while you're doing something, while you're like
I
cleaning.
was sitting on a plane listening to it, and I was
It's
like,
not the
"This is
vibe.
not right.
That's not the vibe.
This isn't right."
Do it while you're doing some dishes and you want to get hyped up, or like do it first thing in the morning if you're like trying to get the day rocking. Even if you don't listen to the whole thing, just start the album off. And if you aren't like kind of just moving your hips around a little bit while you're listening to it, go to therapy.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the many reasons.
But it's just such a good. There's a reason that it's on all these top lists.
Yeah.
It is a truly
Does it end
incredible
like
album.
at number one on almost all of
At
them?
number one, yes. This is also a recommendation for both of you. This is a band that I have heard about for years, and I forgot they existed. And it's also because it's been 7 years since they released an album. It's a band called Los Campesinos, and the album is called All Hell. I believe they are I believe they're from the UK. They're straight indie rock, but they write some great fucking music. Like, it is insane.
COMPACINOS.
CAMPESINOS. Los Campesinos. The album is All Hell. It's a great album. So, and again, I only listen to 3, 4, 5 songs on each album. So my representation might be a little bit off. But Adam, you gotta listen to The Great Bailout by Moor Mother. It's MOOR Mother. This is it's very experimental sounding stuff with lyrical content that's very historical and based in a lot of slavery history, but with just crazy sounds happening throughout it. It is a true journey to go through just the first song. It's 9 minutes long, and it's awesome. Dave, I don't know if you like Sturgill Simpson.
I do.
Have you heard about this Johnny Blue Skies?
His alter ego.
This is his first release with the alter ego Johnny Blue Skies. You gotta listen to
I'm gonna
this.
check it out.
Passage du Désir is the album name, and his artist name is just Johnny Blue Skies. I've listened to Sturgill Simpson just on and off since he blew up, and I thought it was fine. And then this is just not that. It's just kind of a return to I'm gonna write some fucking country songs and some fucking some really good down to earth shit.
Man, he did that record Fury, I think it was,
yeah.
that he made the anime for. That record blows. In that there's so much cocaine on that record.
Yeah.
So much cocaine on that record. And I was like, I don't get it. Maybe other people do. And then he
Right.
did some bluegrass records, and they were really, really cool. But it
Yeah.
was mostly covers of his other songs and just covers in general.
Right. Now, for anyone who wants to listen to some great hip hop, there's a guy named Mach Homie, Mach and then Hommy. His recent album is really good. I think I've just learned I don't like much hip hop. Like I liked the album, but I just didn't want to keep listening to it.
Right.
But to me, that I listened also to Vince Staples' Dark Times, and that was on a bunch of top lists, and I was like, I get it, but I don't. For me, it's just not working. Whereas Mach Homie's album was working. It's great. A couple more, I'll be done soon. Adam,
No hurry.
Adam, check out Prelude to Ecstasy by The Last Dinner Party. Now, when I was talking earlier about this whole thing of like it's hard to find these artists, The Last Dinner Party is on a lot of these like these people's like big albums. It's on the aggregates, is like high reviewed, all this kind of stuff. This is their debut album, and they were like a UK band that apparently was just like whatever they played was just like selling out, just doing great. But there's no fucking way you're gonna find this band unless you're just like actively looking for this kind of stuff. So The Last Dinner Party, Prelude to Ecstasy. It's like very like art pop. It's really catchy stuff. The single, or one of the singles, The Feminine Urge, was actually one of my least favorites. The first 3 songs though are great, all back to back. But very arty, art poppy, catchy music. Also, I'm not going to say this album name. The guy's name Bill Ryder Jones. Could you try to say that album name? Eichda? I have no idea.
Is that an I or an L?
I have no idea. Maybe it's an L. Maybe it's a...
No, I have no idea what
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Does it say in the description? Did you check?
No, I didn't check. It might say. But anyway, this is like very singer-songwriter, great instrumentation, but definitely a little bit more experimental. Dave, you probably would dig it too, but it was Adam thought immediately.
Yeah, an unpronounceable album name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. The final one for you guys is for both of you. This is a band called Wand, and their new album Vertigo. People describe them as psych rock. I got why, but to me it was just more rock, with just like these kind of like throughout the songs, like just like kind of drony noises that resemble what psych rock would be, but definitely just more rockin' than anything. And for Ian, if you're still here, you have a recommendation from me. The band Ulcerate. Their album Cutting the Throat of God is another metal album, death metal album that has made a lot of top lists. Whenever I see death metal albums again that make top lists, I'm just like, it's not going to be for me. And boy, oh boy, was I fucking wrong. And I'm going to make you guys listen to one little bit of it, because holy shit, is it heavy. This keyboard is hard to type on.
That is such a metal name.
Ulcerate?
Ulcerate.
Yeah. I'll fast forward just a little tiny bit.
From the album Cutting the Throat of God, we have To Flow Through Ashen Hearts.
The drums here get me. So obviously everybody can go check out these suggestions, but that suggestion I thought of Ian immediately, and I was like, Ian's got to go check that record out. I think he'll really enjoy it. So hopefully you guys enjoy those recommendations, and if you don't, get fucked.
It's weird you have recommendations. I was told there's no good music anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, true. No good music anymore. Sorry. We'll see you guys later. So outside of that, is there anything that you guys have been listening to?
I have been listening to. Oh my god.
Oh
go,
my
go,
God.
Adam. Go, Adam.
Okay.
Go. Fucking go, Adam.
I have a weird one. Michael Giacchino put out a compilation kind of his music for film and theme parks and a bunch of other things, but in like a Hawaiian like lounge theme.
Okay.
Totally works.
Okay.
You'll hear these like themes from like the theme from Incredibles and like Medal of Honor, and you'll be like, I know that, and this sounds totally weird, and you're like, it's a summer, definitely a summer like music.
Yeah.
theme album called Exotic Themes for the Silver Screen Volume 1. So he's doing another one.
Very cool. Okay.
Cool idea to like revisit, if you're a important composer with a very, very big variety of work.
For sure.
To do something like that. So
That's cool.
I actually don't want to mention anything that I was going to say. So no, nothing else. I got nothing else.
all right.
That's confusing.
Dave just looked
For
and he's like,
reasons.
this person got canceled.
Well, I can't
No,
wait
it's
to
not
hear
that.
those
Okay,
reasons.
no. It's nothing salacious.
I honestly don't have much. The stuff I mentioned is kind of what I've been listening to. This Friday, though, 4 Year Strong releases Analysis Paralysis.
Oh, the creepy dog.
I love this album cover so much.
I've seen that somewhere.
I love this album cover so. It's a very creepy dog for the audio listeners. It is. I love the album cover. The album comes out on Friday, so it's going to be a Thursday night. Sit on the front porch, listen to this album. I think I've been looking forward to this album since they released the first single. I think it's so fucking good. But yeah, so I've been listening to the things I mentioned, and then I'm looking forward to that. So,
Yeah.
Well, I think our takeaway right now is that there's a lot of growers, there's a lot of stuff to check out, and there's a lot to kind of take in as a music listener. I think more than ever this year, I think that there's been a lot of great stuff that's just hard to kind of get to and find. And I am hopeful that, personally, just on a personal note, that I can find my time, find my way to get to more of that music and absorb some of it, because the stuff I heard this morning, a lot of it I thought was just so good. I was like, I can't believe that I just like haven't just sat aside and just listened to this shit. So
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to it, and I can't suggest more to people to go listen to stuff. And if you don't know already, I'll be updating it tonight. But if you don't know already, we have a playlist of stuff we've been listening to. So if you're also trying to just hunt for stuff, you can go to our link tree. You can find the playlist from there, and go check out what we're listening to. It's also on our YouTube. So if you're on YouTube right now watching, you could go to playlists and it's there. Is our whole what we're listening to for this year playlist. So if you're looking for stuff, there's some stuff for you. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Great. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you so much. If you're listening right now on a podcast app and you haven't followed or subscribed, well, why the heck not? Why don't you just follow or subscribe, whatever podcast app that is? That'll help us out a ton. And hey, Spotify, guess what? We're back, bitch.
Yeah, we fixed it.
We're back. I know we were gone, but we're back, so that's pretty great. If you're listening, also if you're still listening, go to YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That shit helps us out a ton. If you're on YouTube right now and you haven't subscribed or liked the video, please do those things for us. They help us out so much. If you're on social media, you can find us at DFTA Podcast on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artist on TikTok. Please go follow those accounts. And if you're interested in some extra content, go join our Patreon. There's 2 new videos up, and we're going to be doing some more of that very, very soon for you guys. You'll also get a special gift bag. Ian, I don't have my car. It's really hard for me to get, but I got you, buddy. Don't worry. So
Are you going to drive it to him?
It'll be worth the wait.
I can't get to a place to mail it.
I mean, I have a car.
Yeah, I guess we could figure that out. But I've been trying to self-sustain. I've been trying to do it without asking.
Sure.
Like again, it's my problem, not anybody else's. Not the point. If you have any topic suggestions, if you want to say hi to us, please email us, feedback@don'tfeedtheartist.com. If you want to mention your favorite albums of the year so far, please send us that way. And I will close us out with some people from our Instagrams telling us their favorite releases of the year. Pablo says he really likes Midnight by Lil Yachty and James Blake, and Gojira at the Olympics was pretty legendary. And Ian said Orange Goblin and Better Lovers. So if you want us to shout you out, please, hey, send us stuff. We want to hear your favorite stuff. Follow us on socials, email us. We want to hear from you. I think that's everything. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I think we'll actually fucking see you this Friday.
Fun Fridays.
Fuck off! Get rid of town!
Bye.
Turn off the Mac.